Hi, I'm Lynn from Academic Consulting, and this is a brief tutorial on how to connect to our online training courses. When you register for Academic Consulting's online training, you'll receive an email from us within a week of registration. There are a couple of things in that email that you might like to pay attention to. The first is a link to check your system requirements. Now, we recommend that you do this at least a couple of days ahead of your session. We use a platform called GoToWebinar to deliver our online training. It's pretty user-friendly and you're unlikely to have technical difficulties, but if there is an issue, ideally you need to find that out ahead of time so that you can contact your local IT support if needed. Checking system requirements is really simple. You click on the link in the email and GoToWebinar will do the work for you, checking your operating system, your browser and also your internet connection. Now hopefully you get the big tick like this to let you know that you're good to go for running the webinar, but we'd also suggest coming down a little bit further on that page and you'll see a link to join a test session. Now, it does pay to try this also. When you connect for the first time to GoToWebinar, it downloads a small piece of software and installs it. That can sometimes be a little bit problematic if you don't have administrator privileges for your computer. So test that out ahead of time, click the link and GoToWebinar will advise you if there are any issues, and that would be the time to give your friendly IT support a call to get them to give you some assistance. But assuming that everything tests out okay, the next piece of information in the email to pay attention to is your unique link to attend. So at the appropriate date and time, you'll need to click on this link to connect through to your session. Now the link that we provide is unique to you personally and ideally shouldn't be shared with other people. Now you can see we're just connecting through now. I'll keep quiet for a moment while we connect through.
Welcome to the webinar. You have entered as an attendee in listen-only mode.
So that's us through now. When you entered the session, you might have noticed there was a little box in the top right corner popped up. That's the control panel, and you're able to minimize and maximize this at any stage throughout just by using the little orange arrow that you can see here. Now you may have noticed from this control panel that you are muted when you enter a session. That doesn't mean that you can't hear us, but ideally we don't need to hear what's happening in the background at your end. So you will be muted throughout unless for any reason we choose to unmute you. Now that doesn't mean that you can't ask questions. So there is a question panel at the bottom of the control panel where you're able to type any questions you want in, and you can choose to send that to the presenter. And the facilitator of your session will be checking the question panel regularly. We may not respond to your question right away, but we will endeavour to respond to everyone by the end of the course. Now in the background here you can see the presenter's slides, and as you've probably guessed from that first slide that's up, we do run through some housekeeping at the beginning of the session. So we'll just give you some information front up about how the training course will run, and also a few tips for making the most of your training with us. And that's pretty much as hard as it gets. So I do hope you found that useful, and I look forward to seeing you online sometime soon.